down to the parlor. Up from the depths. Through skull and bone. Grandma leaps from her hole.
Moving to the holy, gonna eat me a lot of grandma.
Examine glass with monocle. Yes, a fingerprint.
You're the grandma, understand it. Get in the hole and make it clear.
Oh! Whoa! God, I can't get in the hole. God damn it. Laura! There we go.
Keep your eyes on the hole, your hands upon the wheel.
Okay, they're just here.
Gonna have a real
The cabinet's open!
A bad time.
in the hole,
Cautiously.
baby,
Baby
hole.
hole.
And a string and
hole,
boomerang.
Baby hole. In the hole, baby hole. In the hole. All night long.
Aw, puppy.
Oh, see, look. He's with the dog. He can't be all bad.
Yeah, my opinion of this character's changed already.
All you gotta do is
thought he
pet
was
a dog.
Oh, you gotta do is pet a dog and
Roadhouse
everyone thinks
Blues
you're
by the
alright.
doors.
Wow, look at those chickens go manic.
You gotta roll. Gotta get in the hole. You gotta beep bop. The cocoa chow, but down the grandma ball, the ho ho chow.
Your grandma's bald? Yeah. Dave?
Oh yeah. What are you doing here, girl? Feel the evil in the air? That's something real bad around here. I'm saying for my cabin behind locked doors. I'll tell you what.
Cool. Bye. We're actually pretty like
get the fuck out of here.
yeah, okay. We'll finish it here because this is the time. Next time that we do come back here, we actually don't have that much left. We've just got to find where we've got one more body to find. Actually, two more bodies to find. And
Is it Grandma's body? You can find that anytime. You just have to know where to look.
But yes. So we will be back next time.
Like
And,
bad
oh
medicine.
yes, kiss chicken. Torment chicken.
Torment.
Spell
Grandma
chicken.
sees you. That's right, all my little grandbabies. I see you, baby. Shaking that ass.
Kicking on ass. Don't touch me.
Uh,
All right. So, well, actually, shall we do another paragraph from the Peter Spear to finish up?
Oh. Yes.
I should give a freebie. Anchor. Blah blah blah. The king looked around the beach where he had been deposited, which stretched apparently north and south. Graham knew this was part illusion. The geographers had consulted. Had informed him that the magical law of containment operated in this western part of the continent. For reasons now forgotten, or perhaps it was the whimsy of the multiverse, because by the way, that's how we operate in this world. Movement to both north and south in this part of Klima eventually turned back in on itself, contained as if inside some transparent cosmic donut. East and west, one could travel at will, until confronted by more physical barriers, the sea or mountains, for instance. But he knew if he journeyed far enough north and south, he would always get back to where he started. The southern sea was at his back. Warm waves lapped at his heels, reflecting the tropical sun in sparkles of diamond and sapphire. The waves seemed to be telling him to move along, or he would find neither fair maiden food, nor anything else. Seeing a sandy
we got
trail leading away from the
3.
beach into the trees. Ooh. The king moved forward. The path soon disappeared into the midst of a thick wood, and then vanished altogether. The world seemed to close around Graham, and the king hoped he would find a clearing or a new path soon. Within minutes the trees thinned, and he was able to glimpse what appeared to be a white fence in the distance. Walking towards him was a girl. She appeared to be no more than a dozen years of age, short and slight in form, with blonde tresses peeking out of her red hooded robe. She was in tears. "Sir, you must help me, please," she bawled. "Someone's taken my basket of goodies. I was taking them to my grandma hole, and had to stop to pick up her some flowers when a large wolf with the biggest jaws jumped me and ran away with my basket. I was so afraid he was going to eat me. Please, sir, will you help me get my basket back?" Graham tried to comfort the near hysterical girl, but she wriggled from his embrace. Ew. And dashed into the woods. "I must at this moment take pause to praise my lord king. Undertaking his quest for Valence was rash, and undertaking it unarmed and with no provisions was foolish. However, King Graham was a true knight, noble of heart, and sworn to help the helpless. His determination to you... Oh God, more Peter Spears. Noble of heart and sworn to help the helpless. His determination to help the child in the Red Riding Hood was correct. To do anything less would demean him. Graham followed in the direction of which the girl had come. The white fence enclosed a snug cottage of the same colour. Flowers spilled from the boxes in the lace curtain windows. On the mailbox by the front gate were the words, Grandma's house. He already suspected as much, so Graham opened the mailbox in hope of getting some useful information. Inside, he found a wicker basket, covered in a red and white checkered cloth, enclosing some bread, jam, and cold meats. Why would you do jam with cold meats? That's disgusting. This must be the basket of goodies that had been taken from the girl. The picnic smelled delicious, but there was something that smelled very suspicious. Graham walked to the cottage door and knocked. A muffled, "Come in," sounded from the other side. The king entered and found a pale, ancient woman sitting propped among a dozen pillows and in a massive brass bed. Dressed warmly in a cap and flannel nightgown, wool shawl pulled around her shoulders. She smiled and bid him welcome. Grandma, obviously, Graham thought. "Good day, kind sir. Welcome to my home."
Did someone say Grandma?
Yes. I'd offer you some tea.
Let me find it.
Okay, I'm on page 48, but I think that's wrong for you.
Yes. Good day, kind sir. Welcome to my house. I'd offer you some tea, but I'm not feeling well.
Graham chatted with the woman for a few moments, but she seemed somewhat delirious.
Just back to
And
reading.
for all that she would...
It actually does say "Welcome to my house." I want you to know.
Oh,
yes,
really?
I know. It does.
Does it
But
say?
she seems somewhat delirious.
No, that's when he comes back, obviously.
Yes.
Oh, right.
But all that she would talk about were her grandchildren. Grandma also refused the basket Graham had found hidden in the mailbox, saying it belonged rightfully to her granddaughter and he must return it to her. Then she closed her eyes and and began snoring. King Graham left the cottage intent on finding the little girl so he could give her back her basket and continue his search for the maiden. Moving east into the forest past the cottage, he began hearing the tolling of bells ahead of him, a rolling, tintibulation that seemed to be a call to prayer. With a sound as his guide, Graham walked until he came upon the adobe walls of a good-sized monastery, its bells still swinging back and forth like its hair going nay-nay. By its door was a small brass plate that read, "Welcome, travellers." Below was hung another side. No vacancy. The door was thick, but it opened easily. Graham wanted to rest a few moments and collect his thoughts. Perhaps one of the monks here might have some news for him. So far, it seemed he'd made no progress. Something about this voice makes me yawn. Alright, got one last paragraph to read. A round, brown-robed figure, tonsured, head bowed, was kneeling at the altar at the far end of the chapel. Graham quietly approached the altar, hoping to catch him off guard. And knelt next to the monk, joining him in a short prayer. The two men remained motionless for several minutes. After a while, the monk raised his head from his prayer and seemed to notice the king for the first time. "Oi, what's your name, traveller?" "King Graham of Daventry, brother." "Yes, King Graham. I've heard of your quest and I'd like to give you something that will protect you from evil." The king was speechless as the monk took the long chain, bearing a small silver cross from around his neck. As Graham took the gift from the monk and placed it around his own neck, he listened to the holy man tell him of a door that had recently appeared not far from where they stood. This door seemed to float in the air, an aura of magic surrounding it. It was located on the far side of a bottomless chasm and could only be reached by crossing an old rope bridge immediately north of the chapel. Ring ding. Gong me. Thank you. So we're gonna end the stream here. And don't worry about us running out of Peter Spear, because we still have King's Quest 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and Leisure Suit Larry's 1 to 5. Or does it cover 6? And we have Leisure Suit Larry 1s to read as well. So it's going to be time. Yes. And so we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.